Welcome to Real Flix Reviews. We're like a book club for people hate reading. This month's theme is movies that are funny or unintentionally funny, so we picked the movie Kelly's Heroes. And we bring you movie news at the end of the program. This week we have Jonathan Charney, James Stevens.
Hello. And the old guy's here.
Right there.
Right here.
There. So, who has the description of this movie?
Oh, it's easy. I can whip that one out real quick.
It's another IMDb special.
Excuse me while I
special.
whip
Here we
this
go. A group of U.S. soldiers sneak across enemy lines to get their hands on a secret stash of Nazi treasure.
I absolutely love the cast in this movie.
Yeah, the cast is really great. I just want to know what a GP rating is,
Yeah.
according to IMDb.
IMDb, somebody has a...
What's the GP? General public?
The dyslexic.
So
Dyslexic?
I did a little
A
research.
dyslexic person can say it and you can't.
I can't.
You gotta read it backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did a little research on them. The blue crosshair shoulder patch indicates Kelly and his men are from the 35th Infantry Division.
Infantry.
What he said.
Yeah.
A National
We're all
Guard
having
unit,
trouble today.
a National Guard
Not me.
division from Missouri.
Yeah.
And they were in Normandy, northern France, Roe River, Rhineland, another part I can't pronounce, Central Europe. 264 days of combat. So it's based on an actual unit.
Yeah, it actually happened.
This actually did happen.
Yeah.
And my favorite character of all, Oddball,
Donald Sutherland.
was in the Super 6. I actually wrote that down, but I can't find. Yeah, he's in the Oddballs division, the Super 6th, the 6th Armored Division.
Now, yeah, this is actually like the biggest bank heist according to Guinness World Book of Records.
Yeah, for
Right.
like the 60s
So-
or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible what these guys did.
I love the fact that there were also Nazis involved with it.
Yeah.
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 Oh, and the
Most of the gold, if you actually think about it, was probably stolen from the Jews and the people that were in the concentration camps.
Oh, totally.
They were melted down and
Yeah.
turned into gold bars.
So it
Exactly.
kind of, it was kind of, a little bit of just desserts of them stealing it back.
But they didn't technically steal it back. They're not Robin Hood. They stole it and kept it.
Yeah.
True.
There's a difference.
And they are getting $800,000 per,
Yeah.
which, except for Oddballs.
Which in that time was quite a bit.
It's a lot of money.
Except for Oddballs people, they bought a tank.
Yeah.
They bought a tank.
A German tank, by the way.
I
Wearing Nazi uniforms, by the way.
I love that guy's reaction.
Yeah.
I love that the mechanics.
Donald Sutherland was...
Oh, Donald Sutherland was amazing
He was
in
so
this
cool.
movie.
Yeah.
Amazing.
No problem. I love the mechanics' reaction to it. Why'd you buy this? It leaks. It's a piece of shit.
Stop with those negative vibes, man.
A
Now,
hippie in World War II.
now the amazing thing is this
Underdog
was his breakout role, pretty much.
Was it really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He
Yeah.
did not have really anything to his name until this movie. And I love the scene when they're walking down the street and you hear the spurs clinking.
Right.
Yes.
But they have no spurs.
No, of course not.
and then
It
even
was the good, the bad, and the ugly.
and then they even did like a shot of just their feet walking with
Yeah.
the spurs just to prove
Yeah.
that there was no spurs.
It was cool.
That was a really cool scene.
I just
Yeah.
can't believe Carol O'Connor was in this movie. I did not know
Amazing.
it after watching it. And this is before he played Archie Bunker.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So this is kind of
It was
like
1970.
He reminds me too much of my grandpa, though.
Archie Bunker?
No, Carol O'Connor. Just
Oh.
Carol O'Connor in general. All the roles that he played, especially this one, because this is very familiar in his role as Archie Bunker too.
Because I love his 2-star bathrobe.
That was funny.
Yeah, I just like I like that thing of where he's coming down. And he goes, "I'll be down there in a moment." What's the use of a radio guy that has no communication
Yeah,
whatsoever?
exactly.
Doesn't know what's going on. And then they show up and they're cheering the guys on.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're like, well, they're using some strange
And
things.
medals for you. And then,
Yeah.
They're using some strange call signs. Bank heist. Gambler. I don't get it.
Big Joe.
Yeah.
Joe, yeah. Odd job.
Yeah.
Odd job.
I want to know.
Bond villain.
Yeah. I threw that in there.
See, I want to know how much of the general sequence was true. If they actually, because I'm sure they did use radio contact that they could communicate through it, but was there actually a general sitting on the other line cheering them on? Go, push forward, get them.
I could see it, yeah.
Because
It wasn't Patton because he was there doing it.
yeah.
So.
Well, Patton would have been there before they even got to the town. Oh, that's the town they're going to? All right, we're going to destroy everything and get there.
With his pearl-handed
Single action armor.
Except for Bastogne, he was a little bit late that time.
I do wonder.
I agree.
Does anybody buckle their helmet in this movie? I don't think I saw anybody with a buckled helmet.
No, I didn't see anybody either. But yeah, I was really amazed by the acting in the movie. I really have to give hands down to Donald Sutherland. Amazing role. Even Clint Eastwood did a good job. I was surprised to see how little of the Western influence he brought into this movie, because this was 1970, so he just came out of the spaghetti Western. Still had a couple more coming out soon. And I didn't get the vibe of, Angel Eyes or, any of the bounty hunters that he usually has, or even Dirty Harry.
Well, there's an interesting side note in this. And I wondered if this had something to do with his acting. Apparently, he got very ill.
Was that Donald Sutherland?
No, that was Donald Sutherland.
Yeah, it wasn't Clint Eastwood.
I thought it was
because there's
I got it mixed up.
Somewhere
I'm sorry. I thought it was Eastwood.
No, I just looked at that just a little while ago. Donald Sutherland right there.
Because he said something. He said something to his wife.
Wrong guy.
Said something to his wife about I'm really sick and I probably won't be here.
Well, he did a hell of a job for being really sick. So
I did read something. I don't know where it was. That the guy who was doing 2 Meals for Sister Sarah was in post-production hell. And apparently he was supposed to direct this.
Oh.
So Eastwood already signed the contract. And I guess with the new director, he couldn't back out because he already had officially signed on.
You mean Bryan G. Hutton?
Yeah, I didn't actually save it in my notes for some reason, but I remember coming past that, going that explains why Eastwood would sign on to this film, because at that point this doesn't seem like something he would have done.
And it's interesting. He kept his persona as a lieutenant through the whole thing, even though he was a private. He was knocked down to a private, but he was an officer.
Well, they said something along the lines that he got in trouble over a hill. Over a hill, and he got a couple people killed. Or quite a bit of people killed.
Anyway,
so it was just a mistake, and that happened a lot.
Of course, it did.
Happened a lot in World War II, especially.
But they had to blame
more so
somebody.
World War One, but
I wish I had the quote. I didn't write it down, but my favorite part is when Mr. Warmth, Don Rickles, and Oddball
Don
were
Rickles.
talking, and they said, who is he? It says, oh, he's a private. It's like, good. I hate officers. Yeah, so does he now.
Yeah, there was a lot of little,
quote a little bit. So
there was a lot of little things in there. I really got to say, the Burning Bridges song was kind of catchy.
It was
for 70s kind of pop.
The whole soundtrack was very the product of its time.
It was.
Yeah.
To me, that's half the fun of this movie is you're expecting some very traditional, army or not, German style music, and you have this 70s ballad.
The script is written so well.
Oh yeah,
I think, and there's no doubt about it.
It really was.
That these guys also. This went off on some of this stuff because it's so funny and it's so intertwined with each other. The scenes, the talk, the whole stuff is just so much fun.
Yeah.
I mean, they wrote it very well. The script was written very well, and the acting was just a kick. These guys must have had a ball.
I bet they did.
Because everything you see in it is just, they're having a great time.
I like the driving that he did in the opening scene.
Oh, yeah. Through all those Germans.
Throughout all the Germans.
And
just
he's in the American Jeep, and all this stuff's going on, and he's still sitting in the American Jeep. Yeah, and I'm going, they didn't even look at that? But,
they did. They looked at the officer in there with him, and that's what they let it go. And that's why I think that's why they let it go. But when he drove by all those Nazis and sprayed them as they're waiting in line for chow,
I loved how they played him off.
Surprised he didn't get shot for that. Shot at.
I love how they played all the characters as more like they're all privateers who just happen to get stuck in a war versus soldiers privateering, because they did some really random stuff like that tiger tank is coming towards the end and they were all run into the open.
Yeah, that reminds me of quite a bit of the Benjamin Franklin's privateers. Did you ever hear the story of that one?
No.
Benjamin Franklin hired privateers in the Revolutionary War, and pretty much what they did was an Irish guy took a boat, stole a boat. Technically, actually, he broke out of prison, stole the boat,
borrowed the boat
with all his guys, took off, and started ransacking all the British boats going around. And Benjamin Franklin decided to hire him on, but he didn't like the fact that he wasn't catching people. So it was pretty much the same thing that they did. They just kind of went around, grabbed a bunch of tanks, said, "You know what? We have a bunch of gold. Let's go get it." And in the midst of it, they started getting victories and taking over German territory.
Perfect.
Yeah.
The other thing that I thought was random was the guns, the sniper scene.
Oh, that was a little awkward.
They were using.
Well, yeah.
First, they were using a 9130 Mosin Nagant, which would shoot 7.62 by 54R, which no other people but Russia have really ever used. And the other part was that bell ringing with Cowboy ringing it for like 20 minutes. I'm surprised he was able to hit anything.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Well, the other part was the fact is I'm surprised he didn't get shot ringing the bell.
Right?
You know, they know where you are.
He's kind of going like this on the side of the building.
I'm surprised that the tank didn't shoot the bell tower too. You know, I mean, it was right next to it.
Yeah.
Oh, totally.
Especially when the tank started shooting everything.
Yeah.
You know,
Holy cow.
yeah, there was a couple scenes like that were a little bit weird, but you know,
Pink paint shot.
and the pink paint.
But I actually, that's why I thought it really added to the fact these guys were more like, privateers and army people.
I liked the fact that they played music as they were charging forward.
Oh, isn't that funny?
And then they added length to the barrel.
Right, yeah.
That did absolutely nothing.
Make it sound like something, yeah. Which is ingenious, by the way.
Yeah, especially since Donald Sutherland was very right about the Tigers versus the Shermans.
Right.
And the fact that you're not going to hurt a Tiger with a Sherman.
No, the Shermans were death traps.
Not unless it was in the button, like they said.
But the Shermans were actually technically better built than the Tigers.
Mm-hmm.
But the Tigers were just more powerful.
Yeah.
Well, I think the Shermans
Armor was much better.
Yeah, the Shermans weren't that well designed, but they were mass done.
Well, they were fast, and there were a
fast.
lot of them.
Yeah, there was fast, and there was a lot of them, and
that
that's
was the key.
The funniest thing is when I was watching this with Rob, the half track that they used. I've probably seen that in the movies before, but I never remember seeing that 105 attached to the top of a half track before.
Really?
Yeah. And I was just like kicking myself in the ass because I guarantee I've seen other war movies with that there.
Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah. Exactly.
There's that one. I know that they have a half track with that in there.
Because it's the T19 HMC half track.
Trying to think of what
I've
seen them a couple.
There weren't a lot of them.
Seen a few.
They were mostly designed to be towed behind Jeeps and anything else, so you could get them into position quickly.
Because when I saw that, I'm like, that is badass. So I had to do some research about it because it's like I totally never seen that before.
No, John, you can't have one. I'm sorry.
Not in this state.
I would love to have one.
Fun. Huh? There's a whole bunch of people that do these military.
Imagine going through the forest with that.
Oh yeah.
I just
deer.
You put them running on the streets. You know what you do with the blacktop? Well,
see the funniest part. You have neighbors. Doing a party. Just that'll shut everybody up. 105. What was that, man?
That was you pooping your pants.
Yeah,
By the way, what was with the captain and that yacht?
Oh, that's what I was trying to figure out, because that was just random detail of the movie.
And he's running away. Don't forget, don't steal anything. Penalty is death, as he's trying to catch up to the boat.
Yeah.
Or
don't steal my boat. Yeah, that didn't really look like that much of a yacht to me, but it was kind of like a little powerboat. It was what it looked like to me.
It was a sailboat. It was a little it wasn't a dinghy. It was It
was small. But I guess if you're just taking yourself, because he was going to Paris.
Yeah, true.
All right,
I still can't. The cast on this movie is still something that I'm just amazed at, because you got Carol O'Connor, Clint Eastwood, Dolan Sutherland, Don Rickles, Telly Savalas. You have some amazing actors in this
the actors
movie,
are incredible.
And who have such amazing...
Gavin McLeod? God, I can't remember. He was the captain of the Love Boat.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gavin McLeod.
And just these guys and their timing. Right. Don Rickles in this movie was amazing when he was trying to pay off somebody. It's like, here, I'll give you $50 if you carry this thing. You have it on you? What do you think? I'll give you $100.
That was pretty funny.
The
characters were right. I think I think the choice of the characters and the casting was impeccable.
Yeah,
it really was. The script was well written. Based on a true story. Turn it into a comedy like they did was incredible. To me, this is a real comedy. I mean, maybe based on a bad subject, but it's one hell of a comedy.
Technically World War II was a very horrible subject. There was a lot of bad things that happened during that movie. Then the Nazis were
ice skiing,
were horrible and committed atrocious war crimes. But to take this type of thing and find a great story in the midst of World War II that you can take and actually have comedy elements placed into it. Yeah, that's just
Totally.
amazing, especially for the 1970s where a lot of these movies were coming out.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say more 60s and 50s where a lot of these movies were coming out, and they weren't so funny.
No,
You know?
they were serious. Yeah.
This is I think, and I could be wrong, I probably am, but this is one of the very few comedic ones.
Yeah.
Because you had Mel, my mind's totally not working. It's the one where Mel, guy who made Blazing Saddles.
Mel Brooks.
Mel
Mel
Brooks
Brooks.
is with the Nazis.
Right.
Oh,
You
okay.
had,
You're talking about,
this one. There's not a lot of ones.
Oh, yeah,
who-
like the producers.
yeah. there's-
The producers, and he also did, what was it?
reviewed it, I remember.
Hear No Evil. No. It wasn't a silent movie. Was
no,
it
you know what I'm talking
Yes,
about.
I do.
We
I can't
actually
think of it
reviewed
right
You
now.
guys might not, but we do.
Yeah.
Check us out. Check the, because I guarantee.
Go look it up. It's in there.
Yeah.
I
It's
can't
just,
think of it right now. I don't think it's a silent movie, but it's one
There's
one
just-
around that time.
there's just not a lot of movies that I can remember off the top of my head that take such a horrible subject and use it as a great background for a bank heist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like how we got that one German officer drunk and he kept saying, "Speak English, speak English."
That was
Yeah, he did look like he was going to beat him at one point.
This movie is just so great, and I'm amazed that even though there are parts that are very 70s. The soundtrack is extremely 70s. I even think some of the comedic elements, but this movie still holds up really well.
But there was some comedic elements that were 70s. I wouldn't say they're strictly 70s. If you actually, read a book, you might understand some of the jokes.
Hey, you don't want to tell that too much. I mean, we do a movie show here.
True.
Well, I'm just saying, so there's a little bit, but I actually think a lot of this movie is very timeless, and I think you could transplant this movie in any war as a background. And
Any war?
Okay, so Vietnam would be a little hard.
So would the Korean War. I mean, it's not trench warfare, so it can't be World War I either.
Okay, how about the Crimean War? I don't know.
I'm just pointing out that doesn't make sense. You're welcome.
I just think this movie is so timeless, though.
Yes, it is. World War II will be a subject for a lot longer than you would expect. That you can have little elements of movies that can be made off of it.
And any movie with Don Rickles, I'll watch pretty much. I mean, Run Silent, Run Deep, which is a movie we did earlier this year, and this movie. And Don Rickles, I think this is one where you really see his personality really come out of his character.
Okay, for some reason,
agree with
I
some
can't
of the
get anything
critics.
to work.
I think this is the funniest war movie ever made. I really do.
You mean purposely funny?
Yes, purpose. This is not an accidental funny. Like
No.
sometimes you get no. This was a comedy from the get-go.
Because I always thought the opening scene to Saving Private Ryan was kind of funny, but I also have a sick sense of humor.
Okay.
The guy carrying his, an arm backing up. I mean, come on.
I know. I get what you're saying.
I have a sick sense of humor. I'm sorry.
Yes.
For shame
You should
on
be
you.
punished.
We have a moment in silence.
Can we get the dunce cap?
You need is one of those.
That would work too, but I prefer the dunce cap.
The old hook.
Anyway, I agree. There's a lot of great acting. The story's amazing. It's a funny movie, but for me, it's not quite a 5 for some reason though. I give it a high, strong 4, but for some reason, I just don't feel it's a 5 for me, and I can't put my finger on it. There's nothing that really stands out and says that's not right.
Yeah, I
So,
understand. Yeah.
but for some reason, it just doesn't have the 5 feel for me.
I completely agree. For me, I love this movie, but it was still missing a 5 for me at the end of the day. Just watching it just makes me go, wow. No matter what it is, whether it's a comedy, action, drama, still has a sense of wonderment and amazement. And just that feeling for me wasn't there. It's a strong 4 to 5.
Yeah. Hey, I think this may be a bit of a period situation on the fact that we're so separate in age, and for me, and it's
He's
it's
closer
a
to World
true
War
it's
II
a
than I am.
generational
Yeah, it is.
thing. I think to a degree.
Oh, yeah.
These actors. For me, growing up with these guys it was incredible.
Yeah.
And,
I'll
like
agree.
you said, Don Rickles and
Carol O'Connor.
Carol O'Connor and Clint Eastwood and all these guys. I mean, they were just, this movie when it came out was just hysterical.
Oh,
I
yeah,
still remember seeing it in the theater. And so for me, it's, after my talk last week when I said, hey, I only reserve my 5s for special movies. I'm serious about it. I really believe that for me, this movie's a 5. It has everything on it. Great script,
Well, do I
great
feel like
casting,
a Russian judge?
great music. I think everything was just absolutely spot on for this movie.
You know, I agree with you on most of those points. I just don't get the 5 vibe off of it, and that's pretty much where I've got to stand on it. And that's really what it came down to. So I was thinking about it today. I was thinking about it earlier today while I was doing stuff, and I'm like, I want to give it a 5, but it's just not there. So
I understand entirely.
Could probably be that generational thing, but I remember watching a lot of Carol O'Connor when I was younger. And, Donald Sutherland, this is actually probably my favorite role that he's ever done. And, Clint Eastwood, it's not my favorite role he's ever done. I really do enjoy the spaghetti westerns to the end of days. But,
I don't think this was the best movie he's ever done, but he's a good character.
Yeah, amazing character. It wouldn't be the same movie if he wasn't there.
Exactly.
And I think the reason why is the funniest thing I was thinking about this is he doesn't play this as a comedy. His character is very serious the whole time.
I disagree.
It's not.
No, this is his funniest. This is one of his funniest roles I've ever seen him do. I mean,
agree with
he's
that,
joking in his joking way.
No, I agree with that, but I still don't think he was playing it as a comedy.
Okay.
I think his character was. I think it was a serious character, but more of a lighthearted character. It wasn't like the guy from The Good, Bad, the Ugly. 2 Mules or whatever for Sister Sarah. I mean, what do you think?
I think for this movie, in some respects, he played the heavy. And,
Yeah, he did.
And so in that case, it's as funny as he gets.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's as funny as he gets. This is his funniness.
He's also kind of talking crap to everybody the whole time too.
I mean, the only other role that I could think that he ever played goofy was the one with the orangutan.
Oh yeah,
I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head,
I can't remember either.
But
that's totally weird.
That's a weird movie.
I think we can forget that one.
Yeah,
But that's what I'm saying is that's the funniest I've ever seen him, and he really wasn't that funny in that movie either.
Oh no, I completely agree.
Yeah.
So, anyways, so look
at that.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to remind you we do have a Facebook page. Is there a movie you want us to do, or is there themes, or you want to tell us that I suck for picking Wing Commander? I'm talking to you, Chris Reed from the Wing Commander Forum.
Yeah, stand up for yourself.
I dare you. So thank you for watching. I do want to say a couple of things before Rob starts his movie news. Is we lost a tremendous voice this week in the voice of Casey Kasem. I did Top 40 Radio, was the voice of Shaggy Rogers.
Yeah.
He did a lot of voice acting for mainly television cartoons, but he just, was a great voice. And the other one, and this is the one that surprised me. Have you two ever heard of an actress called Carla Laemmle? Laemmle.
I would have to look her up.
She died at 104, and she was one of the few surviving silent film actresses.
Wow.
She was the niece of Universal Studios founder, and she was one of 13 living silent movie actors.
Wow.
Was.
Well, good for her. She lived a nice
So that
She
long
did.
That's
Well,
for
was
sure.
she like 2 when she did the silent movies?
Probably.
Well, I'm just thinking because I mean that would be really.
Probably.
So that was I saw that and it was just like that's amazing. I mean, as a movie buff, it's like, man, I wish I knew she was alive.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would have loved to actually talk to her.
Well, then you look her up anyway as far as her biography.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Totally.
maybe Wikipedia's got something about her on it.
And for those people out there, the Mel Brooks movie we're talking about is To Be or Not to Be.
Yeah.
Bing! It's a bingo. So what was your movie news?
Well, I did a couple of things today looking around on movie news, and one of the things that we have been talking here as a group a lot is that there doesn't seem to be anything new in Hollywood coming out of movies. And I just wanted to make an example.
Hollywood.
So this year in movies, in 2014, will once again be the year of sequels and remakes. And I've got a list here that I just wanted to show everybody. There'll be over 20 movie sequels in 2014, including 20. Transformers 4, Age of Extinction, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, The Expendables 2, Captain America, The Winter Soldier, X-Men, Day of Future Past, Night at the Museum 3, The Hobbit. They're back again, The Amazing Spider-Man, 22
Did you say
Jump
Night at the
Street.
Museum 3?
Yep.
Sorry to interrupt you,
there's a
but
second
just
one?
really?
Yep.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah. Uh-huh. and the 300, Rise of the Empire. I mean, so and Godzilla, RoboCop, Annie, Pinocchio. I mean, it's just 2014 is going to go down in the year of the remakes or the sequels or prequels. It's just, and we pound it almost every week. Hollywood does not seem to be able to come up with new stuff, and I just thought I'd point a few out to those.
I was going to say, I was kind of looking over his shoulder for a bit. He was looking at a list, and the one that really surprised me is they're going to remake or reboot Hitman.
Yeah.
Codename 47, which was originally a video game in the mid-early 90s. Timothy Oliphant, who was in Justified, I believe.
Good show. Look it up.
Was the original actor.
Yes, he was.
I would recommend that movie at some point. We'll probably review it because I know James or I will pick it. So I was surprised to see that. I don't remember who was going to...
Are they just going to do it with a different Hitman?
I'm assuming they're just going to completely reboot it.
Yeah,
which is a
probably.
shame because Timothy Oliphant.
I don't have the details on it.
Oliphant played an amazing
he did.
character for him. So I was just like,
Yeah. I especially like the scene where he breaks into the kid's room and they're playing Hitman.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there and he runs out like,
anyway, there's part of my new movie news, and then on. You watch me at all, you know that I'm a Star Wars fan, and episode 7
masochist
plot details have reportedly leaked out, and they had to do a number of. Harrison Ford, of course, is in this movie. Unfortunately, he was injured, and he was out for over 6 weeks on it.
Han Solo retired.
So they've been shooting a lot around him. Yeah.
A rascal.
Yeah.
And now he's using a chicken walker. Pew, 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 pew. A mini chicken walker, just kind of right behind it.
Sorry, okay.
So the other thing is that these guys are not the Sith, right? Is that the way they pronounce it? No, in fact, they're going to be called Jedi Hunters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they're going to be black-clad individuals, some of them helmeted, all of them scary, who are hired by the Empire to hunt and kill the few remaining Jedi. Huh. So that's the basis of the movie.
Oh wow! So this will.
And they all use laser swords or whatever.
Lightsabers.
Lightsabers.
Laser swords. And you say you're a fan.
Yeah, I am. My brain went dead that moment there. So
next thing you're going to tell me you don't know the name of Han Solo's boat.
Han Solo had a boat?
He doesn't know it.
I don't know it. A boat?
He doesn't. No, he doesn't have a boat.
Okay, so you ruined my stuff.
Yeah, I'm just like, wait, really? Like, what?
Jesus, John does it again.
My superpower.
Anyway, for those out there that love Star Wars, it's just I wanted you to give a heads
up. And so next week we're watching Every Which Way But Loose.
What?
That's the Clint Eastwood orangutan movie. I'm kidding.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm really kidding.
No, we're not actually doing that.
Fortunately, I will be gone for the next 2 weeks.
Everybody was very confused for a moment.
For the next 2 weeks, you
no wonder
a guy to pick on, so be my guest and watch that movie.
I've seen it once. I don't do it again.
I'm curious, though. Does it give any more details, like how far beyond the last movie?
No, but you got to figure if they're going to go after the Jedis, there's just not a whole lot of them left. And,
well, no, because Luke took off and started his own little school, Jedi school.
So it's going to be like 60 years later or something.
And then I can't think of.
I don't know. They didn't give me a time frame. But
what was Luke's Padawan name? Do you remember his Padawans? He had one.
His own dojo.
Yeah, he did. It pretty much did.
And Danielson's going to be there.
I don't know. They didn't give you a whole lot more. And more will sneak out as it keeps going. And hopefully Harrison Ford isn't injured too severely. My guess is it's
just a hip.
I think I read somewhere it was an ankle.
Ankle, really?
Yeah, he was probably doing
a stunt
and got injured.
There was no refrigerator for him to save his life.
I didn't say that. Oh no, him.
Oh yeah, I'll take him too.
Hey, I'll take credit for that. Refrigerator, really?
Yeah.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, next week we've decided we're going to do the new X-Men movie, Days of Future Past, which is cool. I've been wanting to see it.
Yeah,
I'll wait for your review.
No, you're not going to see it.
No, I'm not going to be here.
He's going to hold his
breath.
breath.
I'll be gone for 2 weeks. So.
All right.
Yeah. And I gave the movie Kelly's Heroes a 4 out of 5. James gave it a 4 out of 5. The old man gave it a 5 out of 5. And Bryan wasn't here, so we'll have to bug him next week. And
he gave it a 5.
Ladies and gentlemen,
he gave it a 5.
As always, we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Goodbye.
2 weeks.